This episode of Asian Not Asian is brought to you by the Quarter Pounder with Cheese from McDonald's. It's a QPC time. Asian friends, you know we love McDonald's. Maybe you went after piano class or Kumon, or maybe you had to sneak it after school. Either way, get the burger napkins were made for. Some call it messy, others call it flavorful. Typically, we try to watch our table manners around family and friends, but with the QPC, table manners can wait. Prime deliciousness can't. It's got 100% fresh beef, 2 slices of melted cheese. It's cooked when you order with crunchy pickles, onions, ketchup, and mustard. Order the QPC. Yum! So, are there any strategies you have for getting out of your own way?
I just talked about it where I was like, I just know what it feels like now when I get out of my own way. When you just like stop caring and attaching yourself to the success of each one little thing I do. Because it's like every show I'm like, this has to be good, or I'm like, I'm going to like spiral, you know.
Yeah.
That mentality's not great.
Yeah.
It's like very achievement oriented. And I've said, I could do 100 great shows, but one great bad show will be like horrible. Like
right.
I will fixate on that one show.
Yep. Welcome to the Asian Not Asian podcast, the podcast with all of your favorite Asian friends. I am one of your hosts, Mike Nguyen.
And I'm the other host, Jenny Arimoto.
And we're doing a special weekday episode.
I know, this feels crazy.
I'm wearing a tie.
I know. And I am reversely wearing the loosest clothes that you've ever seen to man.
It's loose.
Yeah.
But it's a vibe.
I'm like kind of going whatever the energy is now, which is kind of like loose. You know what I'm saying? Like
you mean the fashion energy?
The fashion energy?
Not this podcast energy.
No. Because you're in a full tie and a sweater vest.
I'm wearing a tie and a sweater vest. Yeah.
So we kind of went opposite directions today, but I
look like your dad
you
so
do.
hard.
And I'm like, Dad, I'm just trying to freaking podcast. Can you just leave me alone?
You know what? Why don't we podcast together?
Yeah, and I'm like, no.
This is how we bond.
Yeah, I'm being forced to do this.
Are these your drugs?
Yeah, it's like if you don't podcast with me, you lose access to the 1996 Avalon. You don't get to drive anywhere this week.
Dude, 1996 Avalon for Asian people?
Yeah.
Pinnacle.
Exactly. I mean, that was the car that I drove.
Did you?
Yeah.
Flex. God.
Thanks, Grandpa.
That's the kind of vibe that we have for this show. It's going to be a weekday episode. We both put in full days of work at our respective jobs. That's why I'm wearing a tie and I have a sweater vest on. I don't look like Justin Timberlake from like 2008, do I?
No, you have more bold prints going that he would never.
Is it too bold though?
No.
Okay.
But that is, now that you're saying it, I'm starting to slowly see it.
Are you seeing?
Or like, Glee era. I'm just like, imagine like flashes of Glee are passing by me.
Are we seeing like a rendition of Crimea River?
Yeah, that's what
like
I'm saying.
An acoustic version.
Totally.
That's my jam. Yes, this is the podcast with all your favorite Asian friends. Very quickly, some quick announcements. Please come check out our Hack City Comedy show. Yes, it's that time of month again. And the next one is December 9th. That's, I believe, when this comes out, this Friday. So December 9th. That'll be at Union Hall in Brooklyn. It'll be a great time. The tickets are available in the episode description, or just Google Hack City Comedy. Also, December 30th, there's a special show that Fumi is running here in New York, also at Union Hall. It's called Fumi Abe and Friends. It's December 30th. Same thing. You can find the tickets in the episode description. You can find them on the website. Come check that out. It's Fumi Abe and Friends. Not sure if I'll be there because it's Fumi Abe and Friends. And he and I are not really friends.
Right. Not Fumi Abe and work partners. Co-workers. Ex-co-workers.
/ co-content creators. Go check out those. Come check out those shows. It's a great time. You were there at the last one.
Yeah, it was so fun.
And you had a great time.
Yeah, I was just sitting in the back laughing.
This is what you do, and you have a hard time lighting people.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that.
Which is what you do. So during a comedy show, the comedian's doing their thing, and they're being timed by the producer of the show. And at a certain time, when their time's almost up, they get a light. And that was Jenny's job, but Jenny was nervous about it.
I was so nervous because I wasn't sure if I should do a flashlight or front light and what to put on my screen to make it clear.
Oh, yeah.
And also at what point to jump in. I was so nervous.
I didn't think it would be that hard, but you're right.
I was really like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I was never sure if they saw me.
And you had me do it.
Yeah.
You were
I
like,
kept being like,
"Go."
I would see the time. They go, Mike. I don't know what
What
to
do I do? What do I
Yeah.
do? How does light work? That's great. Last thing before we finally start the show is please check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/asian.asianpod. It's the best way to support the podcast. You can contribute all kinds of money. Small money, big money, but also, I mean, Canadian money.
Yeah, I was like, currency-wise too?
Currency-wise,
Oh.
you can. I think we got some Swedish kronar.
Really?
I think so.
That rules. Hello, people who sent that.
I don't know how we'll ever get it out.
Yeah.
I think it gets converted to American, but
Wow.
American dollars.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you can send us over your Vietnamese dong and your yen.
Yeah.
We don't have any yen. I would love
All
some
right,
yen.
Japanese people, let's
Come
step
on,
it up.
Step it up. Your yen is very weak right now.
It is so weak. Actually, don't step it up. I feel bad for saying that. It's not going to go that far.
Okay,
Take your time. Save it for when the yen is strong.
Save your money for when your yen is strong.
Yeah.
Asian Not Asian. The fiscal monetary podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Fiscally responsible.
Fiscally responsible podcast centered on interest rates. That's us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start the show. We always start the show by asking each other, what kind of Asian were you this week? And yeah, we can just start with that. Where do you want to go?
I'm going to ask you, what kind of Asian were you this week?
Okay. Couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of things. Do we want to go holiday route, or do we want to go, let's talk about white people route? It's kind of, yeah.
Why don't we go holiday to white people?
Okay. I was a in-law Asian because it was just Thanksgiving.
Right.
And for our Thanksgiving, we always go out to Long Island, which is the ancestral home of white people. And we spent a lovely time out there.
Okay.
And it was really nice.
Do you have like friends there or family?
We have family out there.
Oh, okay.
We have family out there. And we stayed in the town they were in. It's
Okay.
a real cute little town. They got my in-laws have a real nice setup. It's really nice and generous of them. We go out there all the time. And when I go out there, I think as an in-law, your job is to just, you know what it is?
Yes.
I'm learning my role as soft Asian dad.
Yes. Okay.
Right? The soft Asian dad mantra is just go with the flow.
Totally.
Go with the flow. That was me. I fully inhabited my role as son-in-law.
Yeah.
Who, and to be sure, we're at my in-laws' place. So it's my brother-in-law's in-laws. Does that make sense?
I see.
Their in-laws.
Okay.
It's not my in-laws.
Your
brother-in-law's
in-laws. Okay. Oh my God. I
Yes.
really need you to draw out a chart next time.
Yes, it's complicated. And so again, we've known each other for a long time. Before I would say the goofy, funky boyfriend,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
You know, the boyfriend who comes in and what's Mike up to these days?
Yeah, and you're like cracking jokes.
Yeah, I heard he's doing comedy
Yeah.
now, and he's dressing more like Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, like why is he dressed like 2012 Justin Timberlake?
Why is he singing "Cry Me a River"? And that was me for a long time because it's not like I was a bum. But
Yeah.
My in-laws and my in-laws' in-laws, they're all very gainfully employed. Graduate degrees, very smart people.
Got it.
Me, you know, I was kind of working in advertising, kind of doing startup, kind of doing comedy. You know, going and spending a lot of my money on Doc Martens.
Yeah.
Just being a fool. And over time, I've become, you know, I've gotten a better job. I have a son now. So now I'm trying to convert from "Cry Me a River" to to soft Asian dad vibes. Which again is when people ask me to do something, I get up and do it right away.
Right.
I try not to make too much noise, and I get paid in food. And that's the love language. So
Yeah.
I'm eating a lot of their food. They're the ones cooking. It's all Thanksgiving. It's my in-laws, so it's a traditional Thanksgiving spread.
Yeah.
Right. There's no Vietnamese egg rolls and stuff
No.
like that. Nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Just
turkey, gravy, potato.
Exactly.
So much cream.
So much cream.
Cheese. There's cheese everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you know that?
Because I just did 2 white Thanksgivings. This
Cheese.
week.
I didn't know that. Yeah, there was manchego.
Yeah.
And there was a nice goat cheese.
Uh-huh.
I don't know when the cheese thing spread to all the traditional meals too. I thought that was almost just going to be like a fancy.
No, it's
welcome
in
to the
everything.
graduation. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But was it fun?
It was
Did you
a lot
make
of
the
fun.
transition?
I think I'm still in the transition.
Okay.
But I I relied on my CBD tincture.
Yeah.
To kind of help me just kind of relax.
Yeah.
Not so much because of them, but just kind of, it's a lot of work to get out there you know, with the kid and everything. So that was me. I was trying to become, I was wearing more sweater vests and I was just trying to be more soft Asian dad.
Okay.
If any of our listeners are a soft Asian dad and they have to do the soft Asian dad tap dance with their in-laws, their real in-laws, not just their in-laws,
Yeah.
would love to know more about it. What do you do?
Yeah. What's your branding strategy?
What's your branding strategy? What brand of polo are you wearing?
Yeah. Like what will it take
How much are you
to market yourself?
Are you going to Costco once a day or twice a day?
Yeah.
Because I think I would have gone to Costco a lot.
Yeah.
That was
for sure.
That was that kind of weekend.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. You got to feed everybody.
To that end, to kind of round out the soft Asian dad.
Yeah.
Once I got back to Brooklyn, there's a new H Mart in Long Island City.
Oh, okay.
This is not an H Mart commercial.
Yeah.
Don't fast forward. There is a new H Mart in Long Island City, and we went there, and man, it's just, that place is heaven, man. They had $18 grapes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw my Instagram
I did.
story.
I saw it.
$18 grapes on sale.
Did you post from yours or? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know which account I saw it on.
Yeah, it was from mine.
Okay.
$18 grapes on sale from $24.
Okay.
Grapes.
Yeah.
And they were Korean grapes.
Yeah.
And literally, as I was holding them, this woman and her 2 kids walked by and yelled, "Not worth it!"
Really?
Yeah, which is, I wouldn't have bought them anyways, but I was kind of thinking about it. They looked really yummy.
Yeah. Yeah. Asian grapes are so good. I mean,
Are they?
Asian fruits are so good.
Why are they so expensive?
Because, I mean, I don't know what the deal... I mean, like, even in Japan, fruits are oftentimes very expensive.
Oh my God.
Especially in city centers. But it's so... When I was in Japan, I had some grapes, and, like, my uncle got them from, like, wherever, like, middle of nowhere where he works, and it was so good. He just, like, saw them on the side of the road, and he, like, pulled over, and they're, like, huge.
Yeah.
And they were so good. Like candy.
I have a theory. This is why when you know when you went to Japan and your cousins were like, "Oh, we don't do drugs."
Yeah.
It's because they can't afford drugs because all the money is spent on fruits. It's so much money.
No, maybe they don't need drugs because they have delicious fruits.
Who needs MDMA?
Yeah, when you can have delicious
You
grapes
have
off the side of the street.
Watermelon shaped like a cube.
Yeah, exactly.
And when we were in Korea, we would order all sorts of food, and it was all very reasonably priced, except mangoes.
Oh, I can see that. That's an export.
I'm not
import.
even talking about like, oh, it's a little pricey. No, it would be a mango on ice cream.
Yeah.
Looked delicious.
Yeah.
It'd be $50.
Oh my God.
$50. But then like the Wagyu steak would be like $20.
Yeah.
The mango. Yo, you want to become rich? Don't import cocaine in your luggage to Korea.
You shouldn't be bringing mangoes.
No. Fill your luggage. If you fill the carry-on with mangoes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That or now.
You're narcos.
I was going to say, in Japan at least, the way to get wealthy, bring in your old college sweatshirts.
That's right. Wrap your mangoes in
your old college sweatshirt.
Old Berkeley sweatshirt.
And you will sell that shit for so much money.
You will be, it's out of control.
Yeah.
So that was my weekend.
Okay.
Soft Asian dad. We got a whole bunch of Korean food. It's great. I did feel so much better because I had run out of rice, completely run out of rice.
Yeah.
Which is a weird feeling as an Asian person to not have any in your house at all.
It's scary. It's scary times.
It's a scary time.
Yeah.
So I went and bought 2 big old bags, and
good.
they're stored away, ready for the winter.
This is so real. Like
What?
I don't feel safe unless I have rice.
It was And it's not like I didn't have a lot of other food. I had plenty of other food.
No, but you just never know when you need it. Like it's like such a real thing. I don't think I've ever been in the house as a child without rice stored somewhere.
That's why I think Asian people aren't afraid of zombies.
Yeah.
Because as long as we got rice, we can weather any storm.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow, that's so funny. I do panic when I don't have rice.
Right?
Yeah.
I felt naked.
Yeah.
I felt naked. I felt it was drafty.
Yeah.
With a whole bunch of jasmine rice that I had. But I've stored a whole bunch. I actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of regret not buying more.
Yeah.
I should have bought
because you never know
another
what's
bag.
going to happen.
I don't. It's an uncertain time.
Yes, it's uncertain times. 2022 uncertain times.
Uncertain times. So if you want to contribute to my rice, go to patreon.com/Asian.
We need you to help
have a rice
Mike.
tier.
Yeah, you should have a rice tier.
Yeah. And then the ultimate tier is grape.
Grape. H-mark grape.
H-mark grape. But yes, that was...
Okay, that was a holiday recap.
That was my holiday recap. What about you? What kind of Asian were you this week?
I'll also do a holiday recap because I also have two things to talk about.
Okay.
So I'll do the holiday recap.
Yes.
So I did Thanksgiving here in the city. I did
Nice.
turkey trot, but it was 5 miles, which
a
was
lot.
really fun. It's usually
You mean a
3
5K?
miles. It's usually 5K, like 3 miles.
Yeah.
This one is 5 miles.
What? That's far.
So it was...
Can I also say very quickly that my in-laws also did a 5K,
classic.
which I was like,
No, thank you.
hell no.
Yeah. This is when I kind of subscribe to white culture. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm down.
It looked fun.
Yeah, I like the feeling of it, especially before you eat like all the food in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. Chuck Schumer was surprised at the finish line, and so I was just like, I was just trying to finish my race, and I look up and I cross the finish line. I start laughing because Chuck Schumer's at the finish line with his glasses like down, and he's like, like his face where he's just like,
everyone.
all right, congratulations,
Just
like high-fiving everyone, and like I couldn't have enough time to really process what was going on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you see his face and I'm like, what's happening? And then you high five him and you're like, what just happened?
Every New Yorker remembers every so often you have a wild Chuck Schumer sighting.
Yeah.
He's taller than he looks.
Yeah, he is.
He's taller than he looks.
But he looks exactly... obviously, he looks like exactly what he looks like. But it's like the caricature version of himself is what he looks like.
Yes. An animatronic version of Chuck Schumer would be more lifelike than Chuck Schumer.
I just was like, this is so funny. What a weird day.
Funny.
Was he just so weird.
Was he standing like in the middle of the finish line?
Like you literally, right when you pass the finish line, he's just standing there in the middle, just putting his hand out, high-fiving everybody. I mean, like, I get it. That's like visibility and like being with the people. But I was just like, after running 5 miles, I was so tired. And to end it with the high five Chuck Schumer, I was like, this feels like Veep. I feel like an extra in Veep.
yes.
So funny.
Right. He wipes his hands after each one.
Yeah, he's like,
where was this?
This was in Prospect Park.
Okay.
Which was a beautiful run. It was really, really nice. And it felt really good. So I did that. And then I had dinner at a friend's, which was like really, really nice. And we didn't do like traditional things. We didn't do a turkey, but we did like a nice dinner.
Yeah.
So that was good. But the bulk of my weekend was spent going up to kind of middle of nowhere Connecticut with my friend, and I did a show in Hartford, Connecticut on Black Friday. Which I thought Connecticut was right there. Connecticut's a whole state, and sometimes you go more north of right there.
It's a whole ass state.
It's a whole ass state.
It's very big.
So I took a 2-hour train ride.
Oh, you took the train there?
Yeah,
your friend didn't even drive?
Well, he also took the train there, so we took the train there.
Dude, how did he get you to do? Let me review the pitch.
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Jenny Aramoto.
Yeah.
Want to go to Connecticut?
Yeah.
On Black Friday. Using public transit.
Yeah.
To do
a random show in Hartford, Connecticut.
Show. Wow.
Literally, I mean, he's like a very close friend of mine.
Yes, clearly.
And so he asked me months ago, and he was like, you could just like stay at my place and whatever. And in my head, Connecticut was truly so close because I kept being like, we border Connecticut. People live in Connecticut, commute in. Yeah. So I was just like, without doing any research until I looked up my map strip, like on Google Maps, and I was like, oh, it's going to take me a while, which is fine. It's like an easy trip. He like picked me up, but he like picked me up and then we like drove another like 20-30 minutes. Like it was like 20 minutes, 20-30 minutes. So it was like, wait, really? Hold on.
So you took the train and then you still had to drive?
Yeah, I took like the train to Grand Central, took another train, and then he picked me up.
Yeah.
So let me just say, I am from San Francisco.
Yes.
And so this was my first real glimpse into like Northeast, like New England culture.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of like, not like the city spots or like college spots. I'm talking like, like where just normal people live.
Right.
And I was really amazed at the experience. I was like, wow, this is nothing like what I grew up in.
Okay. This is something also I was thinking about during my in-laws trip.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to think about how do I explain to people from California or even maybe from the Midwest what people from the New York metropolitan area are like, especially where I was, Long Island.
Yeah.
And also, but Connecticut is also its own beast.
Right.
How would you do it? I'm trying to think of even an analog of what it's like West Coast, East Coast.
Yeah. I would just say that it's like, first of all, Connecticut in itself, I learned this past weekend. I think my image of Connecticut is wealthy, like ultra wealthy white, right?
Yeah.
And then I was very much in like a very blue collar town.
Totally.
Still white, but very blue collar.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was I talked about it. They're like, I think Connecticut, specific parts of Connecticut are that, but I think that really like erases a big part of Connecticut, which is like very working class.
Totally. Carhartt, but not in the cool Soho Carhartt.
100%. That's what it is.
Real Carhartt.
Yeah, like my friend's family has been there since like I think like the early 1900s, and they were like Polish immigrants, and they just every generation has just been there since like the early 1900s. So they like have like a family farm that like is defunct now, but like still is land. You know, like I really learned a lot, but it's like not at all close to what I grew up in.
Sure, absolutely.
And I would just say like the way I would describe it is just well, you know what? There were some Trump flags, but in general, liberal. Yeah, generally liberal.
Yeah, it's more. Yeah, it's very mixed. It's not,
very mixed, but it's not like intensely Trump, like world or whatever like that. But like the good example is I did his show in Hartford, which is like a small city, and it's at the Improv Theater. And it was mostly his family and friends, and in the audience.
Oh.
Yeah, because he used to perform there. And he's also just like, this is what I said about the Detroit wedding. It's just like white people have just like large families and family friend structures, especially when you like grow up in a small town.
Yes.
So everyone shows up for you. Do you know what I'm saying?
How many people were there?
Probably, I mean, he sold like 50 pre-sale tickets.
What?
Yeah. And then like 10 walk-ins.
Whoa.
And he knew almost every single one there, or someone else in the show who was from there, their family and their friends were there. It was like all family and friends basically.
Wow.
And then I was kind of just like,
there.
Hi,
Hey,
from San Francisco.
Hi there.
And I immediately clocked there was no other person of non-whiteness, like not of color there, except for one.
Which was you when you looked in the mirror?
And then I was like, oh, no, it was another Asian woman, and she apparently is the wife of a friend, and she came because she's a fan of me. I was like, of course the other Asian knows who I am.
Yes.
And then she didn't talk to me after. She kind of like looked shy, and I was shy because we were like the two Asians, and I didn't want to be like, I'm coming to you because you're Asian. And I found out afterwards that I believe she's like the person, because he had told me early on, he's like, someone's coming because they're a fan of you. And it was the one other Asian person in the room, which is really nice. But that was like the first thing I noticed. It was not that everyone's so kind, everyone's like very nice and whatever, but I just like immediately was like, whew, it's a lot of white people. It's a lot of white people.
Dude, this is why white people can be successful in things. They just have to invite their family to show up. You know?
Well, that's the other thing. I think that's like also just a difference between growing up in like a more of a city place with like immigrant family, because I don't have a bunch of uncles and cousins here. Like I'm like, they're all in Japan or Hawaii, like they're not in near me. And so that's the other part I was kind of jealous of. I was like, wow, you just like grow up with like people and you all go to the same schools. The other thing is like, even in where I grew up, there's like a bunch of schools, so everyone gets separated. Like you might go to elementary school together and then go to a different middle school and then go to a different high school. So you don't have like a thread of like, whereas a small town, everyone goes to like the same middle school and high school.
Everybody knows each other. Everybody
generally
goes to the same school.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's like more towny vibe where like people just like stay and they like marry their high school sweetheart and they just like stay in the town. There are all these things where I was like there and I was just like, wow, this is nothing close to my experience at all. Like I didn't have sustained like relationships through elementary school and middle school and high school. And not ones that my parents are also friends with their parents. Like
Right.
that also doesn't exist. So I thought that was interesting. Wait, I had another point. Let me think.
Okay. It's almost the holidays, which means family traditions like eating a ton of spring rolls and watching the entire Lord of the Rings extended edition in one go. And this year, it means it's also time to update your COVID vaccine. Updated vaccines now protect against the original COVID virus and Omicron. They're here just in time to make those family gatherings safer and extra special. Schedule your free updated vaccine today. Find updated COVID vaccines for everyone 5 and over at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. It's that time of year again. You know what I'm talking about. Christmas carolers, that Netflix thing you play with the burning log that's on TV so you feel like you have a fireplace even though you live in a 1-bedroom with 7 other people. Holiday stuff. You know, is anyone else sick of holiday stuff? Actually, I'm not, which is why I'm giving myself the gift of ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is an app that lets you change your online location, that lets you trick Netflix into giving you a whole new library of content. Because if you didn't know, Netflix actually has different content in every different country. So for example, this whole week I've been using ExpressVPN to watch The Office because it's on the UK Netflix. It's so simple to do. All you do is just fire up ExpressVPN on your computer, on your TV, change your location to whatever you need to go to, refresh Netflix, and that's it. ExpressVPN lets you choose from almost 100 different countries. So just imagine all the other Netflix libraries you can go through. And it's not just Netflix. ExpressVPN helps you access content from all the streaming platforms. Disney+, BBC iPlayer, YouTube, you name it. I've tried other VPNs in the past and they're super slow or clunky, but the reason why I like ExpressVPN is it's so fast. There's never any buffering or lag. All my shows stream in HD quality. It's great. So if you're sick of all the cheesy shows on Netflix this holiday season, gift yourself a brand new library of content. Go to expressvpn.com/Asian right now and you can get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. That's expressvpn.com/Asian. expressvpn.com/Asian to learn more.
But yeah, there was like a real culture shock to that.
Okay.
And then also that every food was beige. I eat so much beige food. It's not bad, but I was like,
well, hit me the different kinds of beige food.
well, my sweet friend, he made us dinner on Friday, but it was mostly all casseroles. It was like 3 or 4 different types of casseroles. So even if it's vegetable, it's like in cream and beige, you know? And so I was sitting there and I was just like,
green. Better beige it up.
I was like, it's all individually very good, but like for me, I can't handle like too much cream. To me, that's like a flavor palette I didn't eat a lot of.
Yeah.
So when there's like a full meal of that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm eating a lot of dairy. And so then I was like lightly like, I need to eat like 1 fresh green tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then that night we went to like the bar after the show and then we got chicken tenders and fries. You know, like everything was like fried
That's
meats.
beigeish orange. Beige.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the next day we went to a diner and like you're not going to eat a
Everything in the
vegetable
diner
at a
is gonna
diner.
be-
It's
yeah.
going to be beige.
No, it's beige.
And that night I was like, I have to eat a green. So we had a salad, but then we had pizza. So it was like beige with greens. Like it was just like, I left and I was like, that was crazy. Every food was beige.
Yeah. I personally love beige food.
Yeah.
When the food all at the table is all beige and I would say glistening.
Yeah. It's good until
gonna be
you
yummy.
feel horrible.
Oh, right.
Like your stomach is like, why
Yeah.
did you do this to me? So that was that. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. We were joking about this. There is so much more drama in a small town than there is in a city.
Yeah?
There is
Well, because
so
everybody knows
much
each
drama.
other.
And it's like next level. And also they remember everything. So they'll say things like, did you go to that, the Arby's where they found the finger? Stuff like that. Like,
Yo, all the food is beige.
Yeah.
The finger was beige.
the finger is beige. That's why we didn't catch it. I mean, literally, it's like every conversation, it's like, everything is a scandal. It's like small town, so like there's
They're all
people
gossiping.
like gossiping, and it's like they're like, did you know, like people I don't know about, they're like, yeah, he got fired from our high school because he dated a student. He was in his 30s and she was 17. I was like, stuff like that, just like, you know, like salacious stories where I don't hear that day to day here. So I was sitting there like, oh my God. And they're like, it's just small town stuff. Everyone knows everything. And I was like, wow, I don't know anything going on in you.
I don't know any of those things. What do I know about I think they're trying to pass a new MTA tax or something. That's boring.
Also, my friends aren't doing that stuff. Like, my friends aren't like dating teenagers. Well, that's a disgusting example,
Yeah.
but like that's like, like these like, or like married people cheating with other married people, whatever. Like, I don't have that around me. So I was just saying that like, oh my God.
Maybe city folk are the boring people. And small town folk are the crazy ones.
So my friend was saying that. He was like, honestly, there's way more drama when I come home than when I'm in New York. And I was like, I understand.
That makes sense why people want to leave small towns, though.
It's crazy.
Because it's just like...
Everyone... Just imagine, like, you could be doing anything and someone will see you that knows you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're on a date, there's a good high likelihood that, like, at that restaurant, someone will see you that knows your family.
Wow. Did you... So, hold on. How was the show itself?
Oh, the show was good.
Okay.
We wrote
You did improv? No, you did sketch.
No, we wrote a play. Like, we wrote 3 scenes of a play. We like did a full bit for this, and then we made people read it with us.
Oh, wow.
But the joke was kind of that there's very few lines for us and it's for everyone else, and we kept saying it was a really serious play, but most of it was just talking about how hot we are.
Were you two the only quote unquote professional comedians?
No, there was there were 2 other comedians.
Okay.
Yeah, and they did their own things as well. But it was really fun, and it went over better than I thought. I was really nervous because I was like, ooh, I don't know. I suddenly swung in, and I was like, I might have the sensibilities of like an elite Brooklyn, like coastal elite Brooklyn person. And like, is that going to resonate with like a 50-year-old white guy? I don't know. And I thought it did fine.
I think maybe you secretly have access to this audience now.
Maybe.
You now have experienced their beige food.
Yeah.
And you have experienced their salacious gossip.
Yes.
You could become the Connecticut Whisperer.
Honestly, I had a great time other than like at the end I was like, I can't eat cheese anymore.
Did you come home and immediately eat rice?
Yeah, I've been eating only Asian food since I've been home, now that I think about it.
Dude. We have so much H-Mart
I didn't even
food.
think about that.
Think about that.
I just like only been eating Asian food.
This is why I think H-Mart had their sale, because they were thinking, yo, all these Asian people probably went out, hung out with their...
Ate so much gravy.
So much beige, glistening food.
Yeah.
And gravy.
Yeah.
cheeses. That they were like, yo,
need something.
they're going to need $18 grapes.
Yeah, and it almost worked. That's the thing.
It really did.
Yeah.
I was like, this grape isn't beige enough.
Exactly.
Wow.
Anyways, that was my weekend. I had a good time. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And I really learned that my youth where I grew up is not representative of a lot of experiences.
So did you stay overnight with your friend's place?
Yeah, for 2 nights.
2 nights?
Yeah.
What'd you do on the second day?
That's when we like thrifted. I bought this sweatshirt.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, thrifting there's so much cheaper.
Way cheaper.
It's great. This was like $5.
And way more authentic.
Yes. That's what we're talking about.
Way more authentic.
I'm like, I'm never thrifting here again. I'm gonna take the train 2 hours to go thrift over there.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
What brand is the sweatshirt from?
I don't know. It's like an 80s. But I bought a fur, like suede fur, dark green long coat, like winter coat.
Awesome.
For like $16.
What?
I never can shop here again.
Well, you know me, Mike. You know me, right?
I
And
know.
You know.
I know.
If you know
Dude.
this, if you know anything about me, you know that I'm out there.
Yes.
I'm out
You're
there.
out there.
I'm out there pounding, and a lot of people are like, "Fumi, why are you so good at pounding?" And by a lot of people,
Yeah. I always ask that. I don't even believe you.
By a lot of people, I just mean Mike. The secret is, it is Helix Sleep Mattress. Helix Sleep has a quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Why would you buy a mattress made for someone else? With Helix, you're getting a mattress that you know will be perfect for the way you sleep and pounding.
Everybody's unique and pounds uniquely, and Helix knows that. So they have several different mattress models to choose from. They have soft, medium, and firm. Wink, wink. Mattresses. Mattresses great for cooling you down if you get hot. And even a Helix Plus mattress for plus size sleepers, because hey man, everybody needs love.
Just go to helixsleep.com/Asian. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz and they'll match you to the customized mattress that will give you the best sleep/pound of your life.
They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for free for 100 nights, risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you will.
Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helix.com/Asian.
That's helix.com/Asian for up to $200 off. And when you're doing your threesomes, 2 free pillows.
Now back to this.
This sounds great.
I know. I had a good time,
I think
honestly.
next year, I have to say that I was watching a lot of our friends' stories, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of comedians who do comedy on the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows. I wasn't doing that. I was a little FOMO. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, should I be out there hustling?
Yeah.
So next year, if you decide to do this again, ask if they want to have Vietnamese soft Asian dad stand-up comedy open up the show.
They would have loved that. Oh, well, you know what? I don't know if you get a lot of laughs with your Asian sensibilities.
Hey, I got dad
Yeah,
sensibilities.
you could do
too.
dad
I'll do
dad
stuff.
jokes, but I watched you do the
Which
one
one?
joke at Hack City about, that was really specific
Oh,
to
the one about the Vietnamese lady?
experience, and everyone,
Let me tell you, that one Vietnamese lady that did laugh, I
Yeah.
got her for life.
That's true. That's true.
Tran, if you're out there,
Yeah.
you're welcome, and also thank you for
Thank
saving
you
my
so
ass.
much, yeah.
I watched back to that set, and I was like, man, I'm eating shit. And then Tran started talking to me, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And it was all heaven
It was
after
just
that.
too specific. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Thai pirates,
I
everybody.
didn't know.
I'm going to get everybody to understand what Thai pirates
Well, I'm just
are.
telling you, the Thai pirate joke will not do well in Hartford, Connecticut. I can tell you that.
Okay, I got to change it to something more relatable. Date troopers. How about that?
Oh, now I'm laughing.
Now
out
you're
loud.
laughing.
Now I'm lolling so hard.
What about those hats?
Okay, so I believe you had a story about a dog show.
Yeah, let's keep it going. I had a show recently where it's a great show.
Yeah.
And it's called Must Love Dogs.
Oh, I've heard.
Yeah, it's a really good show.
Mm-hmm.
And the sort of hook for it, I guess, is that it is a show where you can bring your dog to the show.
Like to watch and to perform.
to watch.
Oh, okay.
I assume as if you're a stand-up, you can bring your dog, but
Okay.
I don't know any stand-ups who incorporate their dog into their act.
Got it.
But it was a show, and it was it was at one of those places where it's a dog place, but if you went in there, you would be like, this is the coolest human place I've ever been to.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, is this a cool bar or salon for humans?
Uh-huh.
And it's like, no, it's not. It's for dogs.
Yeah.
So it was that.
Uh-huh.
So I go in there, great crowd, a lot of people, but a lot of dogs. And I don't know if you know this, dogs do not care about stand-up comedy.
Whoa, that's a shocker.
They are running.
They like sketch. They like my stuff more.
They're like, I'm more of a character
Yeah,
guy.
we prefer to see a situational option rather than just talking at us.
We're
Yeah.
more Herald people.
Yeah.
So we went and did the show, and again, the show was great. It's called Must Love Dogs. They have a lot of shows actually,
Mm-hmm.
so go check them out if you're in New York City. And it wasn't even necessarily the dog thing. I worked around it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. I was doing my thing.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking, have white people and Asian people,
Yeah.
because let me tell you, this I did see there was me and a couple other comics. One of them was Shaliwa Sharp, who is an amazing comedian.
So funny.
And we locked eyes, and we were both like, we both were like, oh, we know this is a white show because it's for dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It just like, it was just like read that way immediately. And we both were kind of commiserating about that. A lot of Asian people too.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I wanted to talk about, has it gone too far?
What do you mean? Like the way we coddle dogs?
Yeah, just I was sitting there and watching everybody and watching the culture, and now there's a show where you can bring your dog to it, which means that there must have been a lot of times where people were like, man, I would go to the show, but I gotta
Like,
bring my dog,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And especially with the pandemic, you used to not be able to bring dogs onto the subway.
Uh-huh.
People bring dogs on the subway. I see now dogs inside of cafes. You're not supposed to bring dogs in cafes.
I see.
People bring dogs in
Yeah,
cafes.
yeah.
And
I know
that's
what you mean.
that's cool. I like dogs, but I don't have like a whatever it is that is driving dog lovers. I do not have that. Right?
I am similar.
I'm like, he's cute.
Same. Did you grow up with a dog?
I had a dog briefly when I was in college, who I did really like.
Yeah.
It was a little Maltese, and it was really cute, and it was a very fearless dog, and and when he, died, it was a bummer. But I was like an adult.
But you didn't like grow up like as a child like with
No, not really.
Neither did I. I grew up with a cat.
Yeah, I had a cat, which I didn't love, but
I also did not love her till she was older and she would hang out with me.
yeah. Yeah.
But I think that's part of it. We didn't grow up with like dogs growing like as children. I think there's just like intense attachment to people who are like dog people who like grow up with dogs. But I know what you mean by have we gone too far.
But yeah. But
Were they barking and stuff?
They were definitely doing stuff. there was what?
I just love that I took that so seriously. I was just like, were they barking and stuff?
They
like
were barking. It wasn't even, I'm not hating on the dog.
Yeah.
They don't know that I'm doing my bits.
I know. I know what you mean. It's like, where do we draw the line?
It's such a fascinating thing for me. I don't know if it's 100% a, you draw a constellation of causes.
Yeah.
Thing where it's the person who is into dogs definitely lives in Brooklyn or lower Manhattan. It may or may not be into climbing and or a gym that has those silk rope things that you can climb and exercise on.
Of course.
What is that called?
Silk
rope
sing.
Yes.
Isn't it silks?
Yes.
Aerial silks.
Aerial silks. Yes.
Yeah, silk sing. Yeah.
So
aerial silks.
You're also into that. You might work at a cool but established tech place, but not one of the big ones.
Yeah.
And you got a couple Asian friends. Maybe you go up to Connecticut to put on a comedy show. I don't know what it is. It was just like a fascinating thing.
It was like a certain vibe.
It was definitely a certain vibe. Again, great show.
Yeah.
Fun. But it was. I wonder if anyone ever stops and goes, I got a whole thing with this dog.
Yeah. Here's where my tiger mom comes in.
Okay.
You gotta get a dog. You gotta train your dog.
Okay.
I literally am so frustrated when people are like, I love my dog, and the dog's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I can't love this dog.
I've been bitten by dogs.
I like have been like barked at, like whatever, and I'm like, I can't even pretend to like this dog.
Yeah.
Like, raise your dog right. Yeah.
Shalewa was bringing up an interesting thing where, she's a black woman.
Yes.
And her experience with having a dog is completely different.
Interesting.
Right? The way that people treat black people who have dogs.
Yeah.
Right? There's a certain, what kind of dog is that? Is he trained? Is he like, better keep that dog on a leash. And so that I obviously can't speak to that,
right.
But it was something she had mentioned. And then I was thinking about that too. And again, one time I was walking. I've been walking around. I've been bitten by a dog.
Yeah.
Actually, it drew blood.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't a lot, but I don't know anything about this dog.
Yeah.
And the lady didn't do anything. She was like, "No, Scruffy," and it wasn't. Nothing happened. And I got a kid now, and I just don't know. Yes, I know all these dogs are very sweet, and a lot of them have bandanas on. Yeah. That's very cute.
I know a lot of dogs with bandanas.
A lot of dogs with bandanas.
I really do, yeah.
But I don't know.
I know, yeah.
What I don't know the history of this dog. I sort of assume that it's been some kind of train, but they're unpredictable.
There are also a lot of dogs who aren't trained.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just like this is making me sound like some sort of, we need to keep the dogs and put them back where they came from. Like I'm some sort of white supremacist. White supremacist.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're a human supremacist.
I'm just asking, have we gone too far with dogs? It was just something I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I feel like I'm saying this, and I bet you if I ever get a dog, I will immediately flip to the other side.
Yeah, sure.
Where I'm like, my dog is actually perfect, and my dog actually really loves comedy and deserves to be at this comedy show.
Yeah.
My dog should be doing the stand-up up there.
You think
my dog's very smart?
You think you're funny?
Yeah.
Okay. Check out Mr. Tinkles.
Yeah, Mr. Tinkles is hilarious.
Actually, they don't have names like that.
No, they're not. They're not. Their names are like Robert.
Yeah, Greg.
Yeah, Greg is really good. A dog named Greg is very funny.
Swear to fucking God. If you're talking to like a dog lover and you're just like, Are you talking to a person?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Greg.
I have to go check on. I have to go home. I have to go check on Greg.
I gotta check on Greg. Greg and I were supposed to watch. We've been watching a lot of The Crown
Together, yeah.
And
Greg can't sleep unless we put on The Crown.
I got he's been getting a lot of gout.
Yeah.
And for Christmas I got him a new bandana.
Yeah.
What's another good dog name? Timothy.
Yeah, I think Greg is the most human one.
That's a
Very, very good, like human name.
And
or like Allison.
Oh, what? What? You can't have a dog's name like Allison?
Yeah, I don't know. It would be funny to call a dog Allison if it was a girl or a boy.
I feel. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel now that we have these newfangled names.
Yeah.
And we're taking our old names and handing them down to dogs.
Yeah.
We're
don't giving them the classic names.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah. You're like, the dog's name is Chris. My son's name is Rock. My human son's name is Rock.
My human son's name is Bushel.
Yeah.
The dog's name is Christian.
Christian. Yeah. Oh my God. Are we being funny or is it just because it's Tuesday? Okay. I know we're probably have talked for so long, but can I just talk about one thing?
Yes.
So my other thing I want to talk about is that I was noticing that I've been back for 2 weeks. My jet lag is gone.
Yeah.
I feel normal again. I will say the jet lag lasted like for a strong 1 week. And since I was back. And what I learned, because I was pretty packed schedule wise since I've been back, and I have been, I have been doing better comedy when I'm jet lagged. So we hosted Hack City together, and I, to be honest, don't even know what I talked about because I was
funny.
So tired. It was like my second day home.
It was great.
I texted you in the middle of the day. I said, I'm sorry before the show, I said, I'm sorry if I do something weird or if I'm not fully funny. I'm like not fully here. I'm like haven't been sleeping. And you're like, it'll be fine. And I thought I did pretty well.
You did great. You had a great story about the singer.
What?
The concert.
The concert? Oh, yeah, the concert. Oh my God, I blacked out. Rena. I literally forgot what I talked about. I don't remember what I talked about.
I thought for a second you really weren't going to remember.
No, okay. I talked about Rena, and then I talked about comedy in Japan.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's right. That was really good.
Anyways, so I just I don't remember that night. Like I do remember that night, but I don't remember what I said on stage. Like I just remember like bits and pieces of I was really tired.
Yeah.
And then I did an improv practice that Sunday. Did great, which I haven't been feeling good about improv. And I was like, all of a sudden, like, cause I just was tired. I just would get out there and say whatever. And then I did a show on Tuesday and it was okay, but it wasn't like horrible. I was being critical about it, as I always am. I did an improv show. And then people came up afterwards and like, do you guys have our team? Like, do you have an Instagram we could follow? We'd love to see you. And I was like, no, we're like a joke team. Like we only did it this once. Anyways, so I had therapy right before Thanksgiving and I was talking about this where I was like, I feel like jet lag has been the best thing to happen to me because I'm like so tired that I can't really think that much. Yeah. So I'm just doing it. Like, I'm like, I have to just do it. Like I go up there and there's like no filter because I'm just going and going.
Yep.
And it's benefited me because I'm not overthinking every single thing that I say or do. And I said, that's also, I think, helping me like in multiple things, not just comedy, but comedy is the biggest place where I saw it, where like it just manifested into like, I can hear the laughs. And so that was my big takeaway from that. Was that I need to get out of my own way. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I learned that when I let go, because I'm just so tired and I can't care, I do better. And I like follow my instincts because I have nothing else to follow and like no anxiety voice in my head.
Yep.
And my therapist like, well, like, how can we replicate this again for you forever? And I was like, I don't know, because I can't fly to Japan every time I feel bad. I don't have that kind of money or time.
Before the next Hack City, we booked you a plane ticket to Guam.
You're going tonight.
You will have no blanket. So you are extremely tired.
You're going to be so tired and out of it. But that was like an interesting takeaway for me.
Did that make you feel, I don't want to say bad, but the revelation that you are kind of getting in your own way.
Yeah.
I know that can be freeing because it's like, I just have to believe in myself.
Yeah.
But that's very hard to do.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But I think I have like hard evidence now.
Yeah.
Where I like, the second I get in my own way and just like do whatever, it's better for me. And so like, why do I spiral so much that everyone hates me all the time? That's like my anxiety in my head.
People think you think that people hate you?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Nobody hates you.
I know, but
Are
in
you
my
fucking
head,
serious?
I think I said that earlier today before we started recording. Didn't I say someone might hate me?
Someone might hate you from listening to the show?
No. Like I think I said it before we started recording. I was like, this person might hate me, and you were like, no, they don't. But like that's literally my brain. Always is thinking that. Like I think that I'm always, the way my brain works is that I'm always walking on eggshells, and I'm like tiptoeing, not eggshells, but like I'm like walking this like balance beam, and like I can walk 10 steps on the balance beam, but one misstep, I fall off the balance beam.
Right.
And so I'm always thinking that way, which is like I am fighting for everyone to love me. And like one little bad joke will turn everyone against me is like what I'm always thinking, which is why I stop myself, because I'm like, what if I open my mouth and I don't get a laugh? And everyone's going to unfollow me and block me on the internet and say my sketches are bad or whatever, which isn't true because I've never thought that about someone else. I've never had that thought about someone else.
Yeah.
I'm never like, oh, this meme is kind of lame, unfollow. Like I don't ever think that.
Right.
So I know it's irrational, but it is what goes on in my brain.
Yeah, I think it's completely normal.
Yeah.
That's why we do comedy, because we want to be loved.
Totally.
Yeah, I'm not even joking.
No,
That
it's
is
so
really,
real.
I think that is really...
We crave like validation.
We crave validation.
Yeah.
Part of it too, I think we're people pleasers.
Yeah.
And so we want people to be happy and laughing
Totally.
with us, and we want to make the world a little better. Ha ha ha. But also like we want our ego stroke too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So are there any strategies you have for getting out of your own way?
I just talked about it where I was like, I just know what it feels like now when I get out of my own way. When you just like stop caring and attaching yourself to the success of each one little thing I do. Cause it's like every show I'm like, this has to be good, or I'm like, I'm going to like spiral, you know.
Yeah.
That mentality's not great.
Yeah.
It's like very achievement oriented. And I've said, I could do 100 great shows, but one great bad show will be like horrible. Like
Right.
I will fixate on that one show.
Yep.
And so I was just thinking like, I need to let go of that.
Yeah.
Because someone's going to have a bad show. I'm going to have a bad show. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
But it doesn't reflect on me at all. And that when I let my instincts run free, that's actually like much stronger, which means I do have good instincts. That's like somewhere in here. So kind of just like let it go.
But I feel that might be frustrating. I would find that to be, because I can identify with that, getting it out of your own way. You know, you're on your head. I think I do that too in different ways, like either on stage or off. But then I'm like, get out of my way, myself. You know, how do I do that?
Yeah.
You know, it's like getting yourself to not think.
Yeah.
You know, like you're meditating and you can't help but have the voice in your head.
Yeah.
Or the emotions you feel.
Totally.
Is it you're supposed to go into some, like, you know, sleep in a sleep deprived Zen state every time?
I think I'm just going to have to work on removing myself from the success of every little thing.
Got it.
Like I just have to go and do it because I want to do it and I like it, rather than being like, this will get me to point B.
Yeah.
Or like the success of this will lead me to this concrete thing, and like attaching like my self-worth to that, rather than that I should just do like, I'm gonna just do the show and be myself, like say what I want to say, and like if it doesn't go well, then like do something else next time, and as long as I have fun. I'm trying to do that more. Right. I'm just gonna try to have fun. Life is short, let's just have fun.
Well, I hope you're having fun on this podcast.
I am.
Okay, well, get out of your own way. We got a voicemail.
Let's do it.
It's been a while.
while.
We haven't done a voicemail in a little bit.
I can't wait.
And we would love to hear from our listeners, our little community that we have. We got this really nice email. Did you see that? Really nice email.
Yes.
That was so nice.
That was so nice.
We won't say who it is, but this person wrote this thing, and it was just a very sweet thing. And I'm just like, I don't even think we do comedy. Because comedy shouldn't even connect with someone like this. This was a very nice thing that this person wrote in, and we love hearing from the people that listen to the show. It is truly, I'm telling you, very important. When you just heard from Jenny and myself, okay, we're fragile, egoed, tripping on our own feet.
100%. I've made that very clear on every episode, I think.
So it is awesome to hear from you. And if you want to leave a voicemail, you can just tell us any fucking thing you want.
Yeah.
646-809-7231. That's 809-7231, and you can leave a voicemail. It's just a voicemail box. And we got one today from a nice listener. This came in a couple weeks ago, but here, let's check it out.
Hi, Mike and Jenny. This is Kapish Singh. This week, I have been a slow Asian. I just moved cities, and I've been moving around, driving around, hanging out with friends, and spending a lot of money nonstop. So I've been trying to slow down, especially since my work from home job situation just ended, and I'm in the middle of looking for a new one. And it's just kind of hard to slow down because there's so many things to do here in New York, and I want to go do all of them. So I'm trying to stay low and trying to save money, but it's wild because every week so far I've gone out and done like 4 different things every week. I don't know how people do it. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm looking for any kind of advice. I've just been a slow Asian, and I'm looking forward to when I have money in my pocket and I can just go around as fast as I want and really tire myself out. I want to say, Jenny, I'm so happy that you have joined the podcast. I love the new energy and the dynamic that you have with Mike. I think y'all are great. I, for one hand, would not mind a little bit of BJJ talk, but I'm pretty sure everyone else probably wouldn't like it either. But, yeah, that's my 2 cents. Yeah, that's it. Y'all have a great day or night whenever you're listening to this. Bye.
Did you say dating talk?
No, BJJ talk.
Oh, BJJ talk.
Can I say
As
also?
I got conned into that.
Half the time that people leave voicemail, it's like, oh my gosh. Or even people who come up and talk to me about the show. Oh gosh, thanks for bringing on Jenny. Oh my gosh, she's
That's
the
really
best.
sweet.
Finally, it's listenable. It's before that it was horrible, and now you've brought Jenny and she's amazing.
Is it all women?
No, it's guys too.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for that very, very nice little epilogue. That's very, very sweet.
But we will be talking more about my goal. Okay. I think
We should do
what?
BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Do it
Like-
on the show.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious for
If
me.
you would see me, I would be really bad at it.
Everybody's really bad at it.
Of
I'm very
course,
bad.
but I would be really bad at it.
But how can I say though? You would look adorable in the little gi, the little outfit.
I think we mostly want to do it for the outfit.
Oh, you'd be so cute. I think I have a gi that fits you. So, yeah, my goal, I think, moving into the new year is try to get you somewhat interested in that. But in return, you will explain to me why the Selena Gomez thing
Documentary?
I didn't even know it was a documentary.
Oh, I haven't even watched it and I have thoughts.
Okay, see? I don't care. But I will need to learn to care because that's what relationships are about. Is learning to care
about the other person's
Selena Gomez
interests.
documentaries.
Exactly.
This was nice. This is a cool one. I think this is a slow Asian. Mm-hmm. The city, moved to the city, is spending all her money.
Yeah, I relate to this so hard.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I think it's so... I've never lived here when I was single.
Yeah.
But I could just see it's like getting to a city like this is like you're in a big playground of just like anything you want to do at any time, you can do it. And just like go out and like spend all your money at the bar or at a show or or just be walking around doing weird shit, buying crazy shit, and you just get like swept up in it all.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I moved here in my mid late 20s, and I remember feeling the same way. Like I had never been into candles until I moved to New York. Because I was like, I need to like relax. It's so hard to relax here.
Yeah.
And especially in my 20s, I was just like, because I came from a place that I felt starved for culture to a place that's like the cultural capital of the world where I could like go to a comedy show any night.
Anytime.
I could go see a Broadway show. I could like go see any show.
Yeah.
I could go see music. I was just like, I could go to museums, and I just felt all of a sudden I was like, wow, there's things to do.
So much stuff to do.
And also it is very expensive to do it all.
Very expensive.
But I remember all of a sudden I was like doing a lot of face masks and candles the second I moved here,
Yeah.
which was like never really my vibe. But I was like, I need to take a break. So it was like my way of forcing myself to relax. So I completely feel this. But I also think that you have to know that you cannot do it all. Like
Yeah.
you simply can't, and also it will not sustain. Like it kind of takes the joy when you're just like out, when all you're doing is running, and then you
Yeah.
just can't like breathe, like
Yeah.
rest, and like just like sit in it and just be like, it's okay to have a night in where you cook dinner for
Right.
yourself.
Right.
So that was my big learning. But like the first bit, I was just like, I felt like I had to be busy all the time.
Yeah. Did you feel like you were missing out if you weren't out on a certain night?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the beauty of getting older. I have so much less FOMO. I still have FOMO, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I know about the Feeling Asian party, and I can't make it, and I'm angry.
We're gonna take so many pictures and post them on social
so
media
angry.
and tag you.
I know I'm
that
gonna
you're
have
not there.
so much FOMO. But so I have FOMO, but it's so much less than in my 20s.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, whatever. Everyone's living their own lives, and I'm tired.
Whatever.
Tired.
Yeah.
And I want to do my own thing. So that was my something I had to like get used to. But for sure, my 20s, I was like, oh my god, people are out and about. Why am I not out and
the
about?
hell? Yeah.
Like, why am I sitting here binge watching a show?
Yeah.
But you need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know. How about you?
Do I feel the city's too crazy now, or
Like, did you have that, and then did you like, or were you always pretty good at balancing?
I think I went pretty hard there, but that was part of the fun. I remember me and my now wife, there was actually a few this is before I did comedy. I would like text her before after we got off work, or like as we're about to get off work, and be like, hey, let's go get into some trouble. And there really is that ability to get into trouble in the city. And for us, it would be, we would go get a drink at a bar, and then we would walk around a certain neighborhood until we ran into a party.
Oh wow.
We would, and it's either, a lot of times it would be like an art opening.
Yeah.
And if you are
That's
dressed,
such a cool people thing to say. Oftentimes an art gallery opening.
if you're dressed a certain way in New York, which now in 2022 means wearing a black leather blazer,
Yes.
you can go,
and knee-high boots.
and knee-high boots.
Yeah.
You can get into fucking anything, okay?
Yeah.
You can get into any art show. You can get into almost any club. You
Yeah.
can go, if there's a house party on the 3rd floor and you can hear it, and you just have to stand in front of the door, and someone else will be like, hey, you here for the party? I'm like, yeah, dude.
Wow.
We go up there. Who are you here for? I'm here to see Rock.
My childhood friend Rock.
I'm here to see my childhood friend Rock. And that's like the fun of it.
Wow.
And sometimes you might get in trouble, like, you might get caught. You might get caught, which is
part of the fun.
Oh well, you just walk outside and start over again. It's all good.
Wow.
That's part of the coolness. I always thought that was like the coolest part about living in
That
in
is
New
a
York.
very cool thing. I've never done that. I love rules, so I would never do that.
I'm not really like a lawbreaker,
Yeah.
but social gaming, I'm all
Yeah.
about that. I think that's a lot of fun.
So you really had a moment.
I did have
But
a
I guess
moment.
you were always with
Yeah,
your
I
now
was
wife.
always with Gina, and it was definitely expensive.
Yeah.
I remember the most expensive drink I ever paid for, and not even just monetarily, but just like what I really paid for it. So I was at a fashion party. It makes me sound like such a douchebag.
I know.
But yeah, I was at a fashion party, and it was like it was the kind of party where, this is like, again, 2012. So fashion was in this weird state, and sometimes you would go to these fashion parties and it was very costumey. There would be a dude and he's wearing football pads outside of his jacket.
Wow.
And it was like,
it's very Lady Gaga.
yes,
That is the Lady Gaga
yes,
era. Yeah.
yes, that's
I mean, still her era, but it was like the early Gaga era.
It was meat dress.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
So it was like that, and I remember, and I had a job, but I didn't have that much money.
Yeah.
And it was at a hotel bar, which already I should have known this is a mistake because it would be so expensive. Go up to the bartender. I'm like, hey, I will have a gin and soda.
Uh-huh.
Takes out a plastic cup. Plastic.
Yeah.
Fills it with ice. Filled with ice.
Yeah.
The small plastic cup filled with ice. Tiny bit of gin.
So much soda.
So much seltzer. $20. 20. I was so... And again, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
I made so many bad decisions where I would like spend my last dollar on a cool hat.
Yeah.
I remember specifically spending almost all the money I had in my bank account on a cool hat.
Can you just give me a ballpark of what that cost is?
It wasn't, I mean, it was like $100 hat.
Dang, Mike, I've never spent $100 on a hat. That's crazy.
And you know, I was like, yeah, you know, it's a really cool hat though.
Oh my God. Okay.
I still have it.
Yeah.
So
I will be looking at it later.
You were looking at it later. So that was like the kind of like knife edge I was living my life on.
Wow.
But yeah, that $20 drink, I was so mad about that.
I would
like,
be so mad too.
It was crazy.
That's like every time the last time I was in Vegas, which was like I was 23. I remember like I was cornered into buying shots for people.
Oh no.
It was so expensive. I can't remember the cost.
How
It was
much was
like
it?
I want to say it was like I paid like $90 for 3 shots.
Oh, whoa.
Something stupid expensive where I was like, it was probably like $86.
Were
And
you
I was like, oh.
Were you at a club or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, well, now I have to flirt with people for drinks. And I'm not good at it.
I gotta live by my wits.
Yeah. I was like, and I'm not good at it.
I did that once too. I was at a club in London.
And you're like, I gotta flirt my way to drinks.
I as I was saying, shots on me.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah. It's like coming out of your mouth. Well, after that, I was like, it's your birthday. I got shots. And I was like, turning around, I was like shaking. I'm like 23 years old.
I bought shots for like 10 people at a club.
Oh my God.
To this
Mike.
day, I don't know how much it was. I refuse to look. I did justify it by saying that up until then, people had been buying me drinks.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was fully prepared for this 10 shots to be like $500.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm pretty sure it was something like that.
Yeah.
But I was just like, anyways, to the listener.
Yes. Take it easy.
Go ahead and maybe not buy everybody's shots.
Don't buy everyone's shots, but also know that you don't have to do everything all the time. There's too much. You can't do it all. So pick and choose and have fun.
Pick and choose, and we'll do some jujitsu later.
Yeah. And I don't know why I said I wanted to do jujitsu. I think I just wanted to wear the outfit.
We'll wear that. We'll do jujitsu, and then we'll watch the Selena Gomez
documentary, which I haven't even seen.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know. HBO? So I don't know. I don't even know about it, but I know that it's a thing and people have opinions.
Check out the episode next time when we will hopefully check that out and we'll hear these opinions. In the meantime, please follow us on Instagram. You can follow me at Nice Pants Bro, and you can follow the show at Asian Not Asian Pod.
And I'm at Jenny Arimoto.
Until then, be cool, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.